Hello everyone, and welcome to the World War Photographer channel. Today we will discuss the invasion of Poland and the Winter War. Don't forget to subscribe to support our work. It truly means a lot to us. A view of an undamaged Polish city from the cockpit of a German Heinkel He-111P bomber in 1939. A Polish cavalry squadron on maneuvers in Poland on April 29, 1939. The myth of Polish cavalry charging against Nazi tanks was fueled by Nazi and Soviet propaganda, though cavalry primarily targeted infantry and had effective charges. Associated Press correspondent Alvin Steinkopf, broadcasting from Danzig on July 11th. The city, a semi-autonomous state tied to Poland, was under tension as Germany demanded its incorporation into the Third Reich, hinting at possible military action. Soviet Premier Joseph Stalin smiles as Soviet Foreign Minister Vyacheslav Molotov signs the non-aggression pact with German Foreign Minister Joachim von Ribbentrop in Moscow on August 23rd. The pact secretly divided Eastern Europe into spheres of influence, ensuring no Soviet resistance if Hitler invaded Poland, bringing war closer. On August 25th, Great Britain formed a military alliance with Poland. Just days later, on September 1st, the German battleship Schleswig-Holstein bombed a Polish transit depot at Westerplatte, marking the beginning of World War II. The Luftwaffe and German ground troops also launched simultaneous attacks across Poland. On September 7, 1939, German soldiers combed the Westerplatte after its surrender to German forces. Less than 200 Polish defenders held the peninsula for 7 days before yielding to the attack. German bombers targeted Poland in a devastating aerial attack, with explosions marking the impact of the bombs on the ground. This marked a brutal start to World War II. Two tanks from the SS Leibstandarte Adolf Hitler Division crossed the Bzura River during the Battle of Bzura. The week-long battle ended with a decisive German victory, securing most of western Poland. Soldiers of the SS Leibstandarte Adolf Hitler Division rested in a ditch while advancing towards Pabianice during the invasion of Poland. The division played a key role in the rapid German offensive. German advance guards and scouts moved through a Polish town that had been under heavy fire during the Nazi invasion. The town had already suffered significant damage from the bombing. On September 16th, German infantry cautiously advanced on the outskirts of Warsaw, Poland, amid intense fighting during the Nazi invasion. The Polish capital was under heavy bombardment. In September 1939, several civilian prisoners of war, with arms raised, were forced to walk along a road, reflecting the brutality faced by non-combatants. On September 1st, a crowd gathered outside the US State Department building, reading headlines that read, "Bombs rain on Warsaw," as diplomats held a conference on the escalating war in Europe. This moment marked the start of World War II. On September 3rd, Britain's King George VI broadcasted to the nation, marking the first evening of World War II. His speech served to rally the British people in the face of the conflict. On September 4th, acting town crier W.T. Boston read aloud the war proclamation from the steps of the Royal Exchange in London, marking the official declaration of World War II. This moment signaled the start of a conflict that would eventually lead to the use of nuclear weapons. On September 17, 1939, the HMS Courageous was sunk by torpedoes from the German U-29 after being stalked for hours. The attack killed 518 of its 1,259 crew members. On March 6th, Ordynaka Street in Warsaw was left in ruins, with a dead horse among piles of debris. During the invasion, Warsaw suffered relentless bombing, including 1,150 sorties on September 25, 1939, when over 550 tons of bombs were dropped. In September 1939, near Blony, a Polish armored train carrying tanks was captured by the 14th SS Leibstandarte Adolf Hitler Division during the invasion of Poland. German soldiers captured by the Polish army during the Nazi invasion are shown while being held captive in Warsaw on October 2nd. A young Polish boy returns to his home, now a ruin, during a pause in the German air raids on Warsaw in September 1939. Warsaw surrendered on September 28th, and by October 5th, Polish forces capitulated, leaving Poland under German and Soviet control. On October 5th, Adolf Hitler salutes parading German Wehrmacht troops in Warsaw after the invasion. Behind him stand, from left to right, Colonel General Walter von Brauchitsch, Lieutenant General Friedrich von Kochenhausen, Colonel General Gerd von Rundstedt, and Colonel General Wilhelm Keitel. In July 1939, Japanese soldiers advanced inland over the beach after landing at Swato, Shantou, one of the last South China ports under Chinese control. Following a brief clash with Chinese defenders, the Japanese entered the city with little resistance. On July 21st, the tanks roll across the vast Mongolian-Manchurian steppe near the Mongolian border. Manchukuo troops, reinforced by the Japanese, faced sudden border clashes with Soviet forces in the region. In July, a Japanese machine gun unit cautiously moves forward, passing two Soviet armored cars abandoned during the fighting along the Mongolian frontier. On November 30th, after Finland rejected Soviet demands, the USSR invaded with 450,000 soldiers, starting the Winter War. In this image, a Finnish anti-aircraft soldier in white camouflage uses a rangefinder during a Russian aerial attack on December 28, 1939. A house burns fiercely after being struck by a Soviet bomb during a Russian air raid on Turku, a port city in southwest Finland, on December 27, 1939. On January 17, 1940, captured Soviet tanks and cars lay along a road in a snow-covered forest. Finnish troops had just overpowered an entire Soviet division. On January 19, 1940, Finnish troops scatter for cover as Soviet planes fly over during an air raid on a frozen wooded battlefront somewhere in Finland. On March 28, 1940, Finnish soldiers from a ski battalion marched with their reindeer while fighting against invading Russian troops. On February 20, 1940, a Swedish volunteer in northern Finland protects himself from the sub-zero Arctic cold with a mask while on duty against Russian invaders. On December 19, 1939, the German battleship Admiral Graf Spee burns off Montevideo, Uruguay, after the Battle of the River Plate. Damaged by 3 Royal Navy cruisers, the crew scuttled the ship outside the port to avoid a blockade. On March 18, 1939, restaurant operator Fred Horak of Somerville, Massachusetts, displays a sign in the window of his lunchroom. Horak, a native of Prague, Czechoslovakia, posted it during a significant time. Curtiss P-40, Warhawk fighter aircraft being manufactured, likely in Buffalo, New York. On December 18, 1939, as German forces focused on Poland, French troops posed in a cantonment in France, while British soldiers deployed along the border with Germany, amid rising anxiety on the Western Front. On August 27th, vast crowds of Parisians gathered at the Basilica of the Sacred Heart on Montmartre Hill to attend a religious service and pray for peace, as seen in front of the church in France. On January 4, 1940, members of the French army operated an acoustic locator device designed to detect distant aircraft engines. This experimental technology became obsolete soon after the introduction of radar. On September 20, 1939, British troops cheerfully boarded a train for the first stage of their trip to the Western Front, somewhere in England. On October 19th, a group of newspapermen on the Western Front stood atop a fort in the Maginot Line, France, with a French army guide pointing out the no man's land separating French and German troops. On August 11th, London's Westminster Bridge and the Houses of Parliament were shrouded in darkness after the first blackout trial, conducted by the Home Office in preparation for possible German air raids. On March 3rd, at Holborn Town Hall in London, officials and mothers tested a respirator designed to protect babies from poison gas. Several babies under 2 were fitted with baby helmets. Adolf Hitler consulted a geographical survey map with his general staff, including Heinrich Himmler and Martin Bormann, at an undisclosed location. On October 30, 2008, a man views a photograph of Johann Georg Elser mounted on a monument in Freiburg, Germany. Elser, who attempted to assassinate Adolf Hitler with a self-made bomb in Munich on November 8, 1939, was caught and executed in Dachau before World War II ended. Thank you for watching until the end. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and share your thoughts in the comments below. See you in the next video.